All right, let's get into it. Today we're exploring this really profound philosophical parable. It's all about a rebel who finds out that his greatest enemy isn't the world he's trying to tear down, but his own shadow. A shadow that's a perfect, conforming reflection of everything he despises. So, meet the Sapphire Prophet. I mean, this one line tells you absolutely everything you need to know, right? He isn't just an outsider, he's a fundamental misfit. He's not a missing piece of some cosmic puzzle, he's a shard of glass that's been thrown into the gears of a smooth, perfectly ordered machine. And he's there for one reason: to grind. Our story kicks off here, on a path of what the text calls spiritual rust. You can just feel it, can't you? The entire landscape feels tired, decaying. It really sets the stage for a journey that's as much about the decay of the soul as it is about the physical world itself. So let's get our bearings in this world. The prophet, he's heading towards the marketplace of the flies. I mean, a name that just drips with this idea of mindless buzzing and conformity. And watching over it all is this flawed creator figure, Saklas, the blind artisan. His sun, it's a false sun. It doesn't illuminate, it oppresses. This isn't a world of hope. No, this is a world that's rotting from the inside out. And this is where the journey just takes this horrifying turn. The prophet looks down and sees this impossible contradiction. Well, he feels like a broken shard of glass. His shadow, which is cast by the creator's false light, is perfect. It's whole, the shape of an ideal man. His own reflection is a complete lie, a part of him that actually belongs to the very system he's trying to destroy. This image just captures the entire conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got the prophet. He's the friction, the shard, the I who is not I. And on the other side, the shadow. It's the measure, the perfect shape, the part of him that belongs. See, this isn't just a man facing some external enemy. This is his own internal struggle made real, externalized, and it's about to go to war with itself. And now, the conflict ignites. The shadow doesn't just tag along anymore. It literally peels itself off the ground and becomes its own being, ready to argue on behalf of the system the prophet hates. So let's hear what it has to say. Wow, the shadow's opening argument is just devastatingly simple, isn't it? It says, I am your measure. It's claiming the prophet's very shape, his existence, is a gift from the blind artisan's light. It's basically saying, you think you're a rebel? You can't even exist without the system you claim to despise. But the prophet's comeback is just as powerful. He completely rejects the shadow's terms. He's not defined by what he is in this grand playground of a world. He defines himself by what he is not. Think about that. It's such a profound act of rebellion, to build your identity not on conformity, but on pure, unwavering opposition. And here the shadow delivers its most crushing blow. It argues that the prophet's hatred of fate, his entire rebellion, isn't freedom. Not at all. It's just another gear in the machine. It's a feature, maybe even designed by the creator, to make the illusion of free will more entertaining. Your struggle, it says, is part of the script. So let's just focus on this key term for a second, odium fati. This is the engine driving the entire story. This isn't just being unhappy with your lot in life. No, it's a deep philosophical hatred for the very idea that your destiny is pre-written. It's the conscious choice to fight against fate itself, even if you are absolutely certain you're going to lose. This brings us right to the heart of their debate. Can you really break free from a system that seems to anticipate your every move? Or is every single act of rebellion just another part of the show? The prophet's response here is just brilliant. He completely redefines his own purpose. He's not trying to win the game. He's not trying to get to a new destination. His purpose is the walking. It is the grinding. He exists to be the friction that will eventually wear down this supposedly perfect machine. The shadow makes one last appeal, but this time it's not about logic. It's about pure pragmatism. It warns the prophet that the world doesn't want his difficult truth. People want comfort. They prefer to sleep in a fool's heaven. It's a really powerful, tempting argument. Save yourself because the very people you're trying to save will destroy you for it. But the prophet just rejects self-preservation with this incredible declaration. He identifies himself as the out man. Now, this isn't just an outsider. This is a figure whose entire purpose is not to survive the machine, but to break it. His own survival, his own destruction, it's completely irrelevant if the system breaks along with him. So this brings us to the climax. The debate is over. Words have failed. The prophet realizes that you can't argue your way out of a cage. It's time for an act of what the story calls righteous sin, an act that is going to change absolutely everything. The prophet seems to understand that logic itself can be a cage. You can't use the master's tools to dismantle the master's house, right? So his final argument, it's not going to be a word. It's going to be an act of pure defiance, a physical refutation of the entire system. He performs what's called a righteous sin. He tears away his mask, the ultimate act of defiance in this world. But what's underneath isn't flesh. It's a void, a spark of pure absolute nothingness. And when the Creator's false light hits this void, it isn't reflected. No, it's swallowed whole. It's consumed by a truth that's deeper and older than the Creator's light itself. This is the prophet's moment of true enlightenment. He finally understands the fundamental mistake his own Creator made. Sacklos looked at his own shadow and thought it was God. The prophet will not make that same mistake. He knows exactly what his shadow is: a script, a mold, a fate, to be utterly and completely rejected. With this one final, visceral act of contempt, the prophet rejects his pre-written destiny. And because the shadow is nothing more than a reflection of that Creator's light, the moment that light is consumed, the shadow is completely unmade. It just evaporates into nothing. So where do you go after you've literally destroyed a part of yourself? After you've unmade your own fate? Let's explore what happens next as the prophet continues his descent into the world. The result is, well, it's profound. The prophet is now alone. Yes, but for the first time, he is truly unbroken. By swallowing the light that defined him, he has erased the part of himself that conformed to the world. He is now a true singularity. He casts no shadow because he no longer reflects anything. And his final words in this parable are just chilling. The internal battle is over. It's won. He has mastered himself. He's unmade his own fate. So now he turns his attention outward, toward that marketplace of the flies, ready to ask a brand new question. What else can be broken? And that leaves us with this really provocative question. The prophet's answer to rewriting his script was to become a void that consumes the very light that writes it. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world that is constantly trying to define you, to cast you in a certain light, what does it truly mean to become your own author?